to contact them to give them a copy of it, because we made a copy specifically on the request of some family members
right.
to pass it on to them. But they're invisible. We don't even see them. How can we give a tape to someone we can't see?
Right, exactly. Now, the Amigo article, have there been any follow-up since then?
No, they've kept very quiet because of these outlandish statements that they made, that they cannot back up with anything. This invention of an air ambulance that took her out of the island, etc., etc. I mean, no, it's been very quiet on that front now. And they know that it was just an idea that they had, or some kind of a theory they've sustained from the beginning, but that doesn't have any grounds to stand on.
No, I never saw it personally, but I was told by some of my listeners that there was a link to that article on the Aruban police website. Is there any truth to that?
No, that we have been able to determine, no.
All right. If you're just joining me, the managing editor of Diario is here, Jossy Mansour. Let's get back, Jossy, to the broadcast, and I'm not sure if you've seen an internet copy of it or not, with Bill O'Reilly and Geraldo Rivera the other night. Have you seen that?
I saw parts of it, yes.
Okay, you did see parts of it. Is this a rehash of old speculation that has come out over the past 2 years that maybe these journalists decided to bring back and try and garner some interest? Because that rumor, as far as drugs and overdose and all that sort of stuff, which was never corroborated, has been heard before. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this has been around from the beginning. I mean, there is a theory out there that's been sustained on and off for the past 2 years and 2 months since the case, since the girl disappeared. But we've always considered it only a rumor and only a theory. There is absolutely no facts to back it up, no evidence, nada.
One thing that makes a lot of my listeners scratch their heads, so to speak, and wonder, and myself included, and we've discussed it, but we'll talk about it again, is the fact of the underage drinking and gambling that had been going on, admittedly, by young Vandersloot. Was there ever any discussion, or has there ever been any discussion as far as at least filing some charges as far as that goes?
No, there hasn't been any of that. The authorities have just shrugged it aside. They haven't paid any attention to it then, and they're not paying any attention to it now. And then over the past 26 months, I haven't seen anything in the direction of trying to make some kind of a statement, at least, if not bring charges, at least make a statement on this fact, because it is a known fact that as an underage, he wasn't supposed to be in the casino, much less in the company of his father. He was there. There are videotapes to prove that. And still the authorities haven't done anything with regards to that specific case.
Have the authorities been vigilant when it comes to underage drinking and gambling, or do we still see that as a problem in Aruba?
I see it as a problem in Aruba. I mean, they do their best to control it. They're undermanned, they're understaffed, they're underpaid. And I think that in order to be able to bring forth an effective vigilance on that particular subject, I think you need the necessary manpower to do it. I don't think it's being done yet, not with the emphasis that it should be.
The locals, the local population, I'm sure never in their wildest dreams would they have ever thought that there would be so much media attention, some may say negative media attention, towards Aruba because of the lack of progress and the quote-unquote incompetence in this investigation. The man on the street, Jossy, that you sit and you talk to, how would you encapsulate their thoughts on what's going on now more than 2 years later?
From what we can gather is most of them are disappointed that the case has gone on for so long. No solutions, no real indications of a solution. Even with the coming of these Dutch forensic people, I mean, we haven't seen anything that effectively influences the thoughts of the local population. I mean, they're becoming quite indifferent to it, in the sense that they don't see any progress.
And that's what makes things difficult, for sure. So, just before I end up with you, and again, I thank you for coming on the program. You're always a breath of fresh air to come on here. We see so much misinformation and hear so much misinformation. It is disappointing when a program with the ability to attract so much attention as O'Reilly comes forward with this. Do you feel, and I know this, I'm asking you to really speculate here, so that there's going to be more of this negativity? Is there an evil side, for lack of a better term, that's going to keep feeding North American media this crap?
I think that is a possibility, although I don't see it, in fact, because if you go back to the article that came out in the Army, that's died out. I mean, there's no consequence. Like Joran's book, no one paid any attention to it. It's not being commended anywhere. So it's hard to say exactly what people might think about that.
Yeah, and again, it's difficult, and I know that's maybe not a fair question for me to ask you, but I have the sneaking suspicion that this isn't done yet, but I hope that the North American media will at least research before they report. And if you were to give a piece of advice to a new reporter at your paper, Jossy, what would that be when it comes to source information?
I would say stick to the facts. You don't know the facts, don't write anything about it. Don't give misinformation, because it complicates matters, not only for the reader but for yourself also, because it will blow back in your face sooner or later. I would advise him to stick to the truth and stick to the facts, regardless.
And that's Reporter 101, is it not?
That's it.
Jossy, man, sir, thank you, sir.
Quite welcome.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Sure.
Bye-bye.